Waldo is now live streaming Politics, my solution for immigration and housing problems. Tell me what you think. Waldo is now live streaming Politics, my solution for immigration and housing problems. Getting started in about 10 minutes. Going to play Grim Dawn and describe my idea that could solve the immigration issue and the housing issue at the same time. Feel free to hop into chat and shoot holes in the idea. Or bring any old political hot take. Irma Gerd a day stream. Irma Gerd. Cool. I am a big political guy. With hot topics. Oh good, me too. I am just a big guy who shops at Hot Topic. Nice, we are the same. I like it.
Oh, hi, hello, how you doing? My name is Waldo, and I am here to feel the politics with you. How is everybody today? Deleted account. I see you, first-time chatter. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. So what are we doing today? Usually, this isn't my usual stream time, but I did get some YouTube, or actually some OBS issues last night, so I didn't get to do the thing that I was kind of planning on doing, which was like playing Grim Dawn and laying out my idea for solutions.
Donald, my boss, I am watching a stream at work.
No, I won't let him know. Um, you're just like every other person at work right now. Everybody watches streams at work. It's what we do. That's how work is done now. Uh, kind of shocked that you don't have a um, work stream that people could watch to earn a few more dollars. Honestly, if wherever you work, set up a camera, call it the blankety blank work stream. Do your work for 8 hours. See if you can't get some subs. I don't know why every workplace doesn't do that. I swear, I was watching a pizza one on Twitch the other day. It was like some lady. She just put the camera in the place that she makes pizzas for 8 hours a day, and that's her job, making pizzas. And then people go in there in the chat and they you give her money. Uh, amazing. It's a new world we live in. Uh, anyway, what am I going to do today? I'm going to leave the Lady Canooch. This is the lovely Lady Canooch. If you type into uh,
Do I need the low-cut top?
it wouldn't hurt, you know. A little bit of cleavage never hurt anybody, you know. I don't think I can pull it off though. If I take my shirt off, the police show up. I don't know why that is, but every time I pull my shirt off, bam, all of a sudden you hear the theme song to Cops, and then they arrive. It's quite an ordeal, but that's what happens when I take my shirt off. Um, what was I thinking about? Okay, if you yeah, this is the lovely Lady Canooch. Canooch.
Canooch.
There she is. Our lovely Lady Canooch will read your thoughts to us out loud for as long as she lives.
I figured it would be animal control.
Ah, uh, this guy knows what he's talking about. If you're in the Kick chat, the lovely Lady Canooch will read your stuff like that. If you're in YouTube chat, she won't, though. Not sure why, but she won't. Uh, I can't get it to work. I've beat it. I've hit it, and she just doesn't like YouTube. She's not a subscriber, it seems. The Lady Canooch doesn't subscribe to YouTube. So, uh, that's the plan
Men
today.
need only their wits, no cleavage.
Hopefully. But that cleavage sure does make a lot of money on live streaming platforms. Anyway, so what I'll do is I'll start up a video game. I'll play that. I'll give you my wacky ass idea for solving the immigration and the housing problems that we have in America at the moment. I think you can take care of both of them with this one very giant, wild ass idea. And you feel free to shoot holes in it, shout at me about why it's dumb or what wouldn't work or
Start a
how it's
landscaping
ugly.
company.
A landscaping company, you're not far off, for exec. Honestly, you're not that far off. Uh, so that's a thing that might be happening. So that is my plan for today. I'll play some video games. Feel free to jump in with any hot takes or shoot down my ideas or tell me why it wouldn't work and things like that. And that will be the stream. And then we'll call it off probably around 4 o'clock. I'm on the West Coast right now, West Coast, Best Coast. 1 o'clock, so I'll do about 3 hours or so of streaming until 4. And then if you're watching, if you're paying attention, press the sub button, press the thumbs up, press the follow button, and those things are
Shoot
guaranteed
your shot, stream.
to make me happier. And who doesn't want that, honestly? So I'm going to get the game started right now. I think I have it here, and then I press the buttons, and I hit the play button. But the basic idea that I think I have for immigration and housing at the same time. So we have to fix the immigration part first. What we do is we get a whole bunch of lawyers and investigators and judges and stuff down there to document anybody that's coming across the border. There's, according to the right wing and Donald Trump, there's millions of illegals crossing down there all the time. Why don't we get someone down there to document them? They would then be documented. One second. Itchy ear. Okay. Then, once we get them documented, we have some options. What I think we do is we
So,
put
like a wall of people.
there's a wall of people. Right, right, right. We send a wall of people, judges, lawyers, social workers, that kind of thing. We get them documented, we get them figured out, and we put together sort of like a jobs program, a job corps kind of thing, where we choose some of these people, put them on a bus, and send them to federal land. Government owns land in every state. Choose a piece of federal land and have them start building a city. Have them start building a new city. Let's go here and webcam. Let's go window capture off, game capture on, and we click on Grim Dawn, and then we bring it up, and then it should appear on the screen. Finger flicks. Very good. There we go. And they built a new city on this federal land. Yeah, there's not going to be anything there at the start, so we put up a bunch of very rudimentary trailer houses. I mean, bottom rung, bargain basement trailer houses. Let them live in those for now, and then hire them, pay them. Not even. I mean, I'm not. I'm willing to pay them even less than minimum wage because they're working towards their citizenship. You know, and anybody who's there willingly, they would have to accept this as part of the plan. They'd have to have the social worker and the judges and stuff like that explain it to them. Then once it's explained and they
If there are enough
accept,
skilled workers available, equipment and housing and food for the workers could be done.
and that's what I'm thinking. And even if there isn't enough skilled workers, you know what we do? We
This
get
sounds like a FEMA exercise.
sounds like it's a FEMA exercise, folks. The FEMA folks are going to throw you into a forced labor camp. Yeah, I know. Um, if there are enough skilled workers, that's fine. If there aren't enough skilled workers, we have somebody like the Army Corps of Engineers to oversee the operations. They could build a
They
yurt
can
city.
build a yurt city.
Brilliant. And if that's what the Army Corps of Engineers wants to build for them, uh, then they'll learn job skills as they're doing it. And if there's not enough food, then guess what? Hire some farmers to teach these people how to do farm work. And then they'll be working on that farm that feeds the place that they are. And then they'll need somebody to drive to the border in a bus to get more people. And then we'll have one of these new Americans, I guess we'll call them. We'll have one of these new Americans drive the bus to go get more people, or to drive them to a different place if they don't want to live in wherever they are. Uh, Maybe that will be a
Give
little
them
bit
some cattle and some horses.
some cattle and some horses. Find out what they're good at. That's part of what the social workers would be doing. Find out what they're good at. Find out what they can do. Find out what they know how to do, and then just make them do it for us. This isn't. And if they leave, they've broken a contract, but it's not. It's not like a. What I want to avoid is allegations of slavery and things like that, where, hey, yeah, we're working for you and you're giving us very little money and we're forced to build what you want. Well, you're able to leave, but if you do leave, then you've gone back on your contract about gaining citizenship. So because that's the issue, right? Is that they want to be citizens, and I want them to be citizens, but you can't just let everybody in willy-nilly with nothing and then have them start collecting welfare, you know? And I get the Republican point on that. Hey, a million poor people just showed up and they all want welfare. Okay, I get it. I can see how a Republican would be upset with that, how a conservative would see that and be like, oh my God, this is going to bankrupt everybody. Now I have to work to pay for these people. So what we'll do is we'll have them do this work if they agree to it. If they don't agree to it, then they go through the old-fashioned way. They sit on the south side of the border and they wait patiently for years for that immigration system to work. But this would be faster. It would get them in here. It would get them a job. It would get them earning some small amount of money. It would give them a place to live and a place to
We
build a
all
family.
want zero willy-nilly, but Will and Nilly lobbied the government.
Yeah, you're right. So that is my idea. That's my cockamamie plan. And then I would, yeah, push for, and I'm not talking one giant mega city. I don't think that would be a good idea either, because then it would earn a reputation as being the place where all the immigrants go. Uh, and I would put 2 or 3 in each state. Every state gets 2 or 3 of these things on federal land, and the federal government has the ability to build on that land if they want to. So they would choose where the places are, where it would work best, have the Army Corps of Engineers help out, and then if we have to, we can get
How
certain.
about just forcing towns to allow more affordable housing so they can mix into our society more easily?
That is the very wild second or third kind of idea. So once we get all these people found and accounted for, and we bus them to their new cities, we got some very low rent trailer houses going on. They are on board with building a new city. We get the Army Corps of Engineers telling them what to do and leading the way. We can buy some of that. The government could buy the
Your idea
materials.
is very wholesome but a logistical nightmare.
I know it's a logistical nightmare, but the government can do logistics. They could then purchase building material from American companies. Wouldn't that be a big boon to the economy? Wouldn't they love that? Hopefully, we wouldn't have to get too many workers, or if we do, we'd find some union workers or something like that that would come in and help out. But um, yeah,
What
forcing
about the
towns.
landlord's revenue? Want someone think of the landlords?
Why won't somebody think about the landlords? Good point, Shinsinto. Who's going to own that land, and how are they going to make a gigantic, disgusting profit from it? You're right. I haven't taken that into
The
account.
logistics of handing out loaded debit cards is all we've seen so far.
Yeah, you're right, Friezak. It's not a good system. Giving people a handful of money and then just telling them to go is not good. That's not the way it ought to be working. We ought to have a program of some sort, but this program wouldn't turn a profit, which is why it won't be done in the current climate. The only things that get done are the things that turn a profit. That's a capitalist problem, but I think we have a bit too much capitalism going on in our country right now. And
Halliburton could build a new city in a week.
yeah, they could, and but they wouldn't unless they were going to make a profit. So Halliburton could create this city that we're talking about and have them all live there really well, and it would only take a week. You're right, but how would they make money off of it? Well, they wouldn't, so they're not going to do it. That would solve our problem, but they're not going to do it. So we have to do.
We need to treat immigrant America like a third world country and just give Halliburton some tax money.
That's the current stance. Yeah, that's the current America First Republican model right there, and I don't much care for it. I don't think it does anything. I don't think it's doing us any good. It's not doing good things. It's doing profitable things, and I would like to do something better. But then, okay, so now for the really wild part. All of this place has been built. It's up. It's functioning. It has a population. It has, and you don't have to be an immigrant to move there. If they build a house, at some point they'll build enough houses for all of them, and then all the immigrants that are coming in. Hopefully, they build enough houses for more people to come in. I mean, imagine that. They're building more houses than they need. Wouldn't that solve the housing crisis? Wouldn't that solve the problem that we're having right now, where nobody can afford a house? The millennials and the Gen Zs are all screaming bloody murder about how they can't afford a house and they'll never be able to afford one. Well, if there's more of them, they'll cost less. Housing companies
Well,
don't want
giving
that.
all these logistical works and equipment and cattle and horses will be just giving money away. To Halliburton built houses would still go to migrations.
Give the money to Halliburton to do it? No, I don't think so. Because that gets into the why wouldn't why I don't think that would work.
Newcomers.
The newcomers, that's a good name for it. I like it. Newcomers. The new Americans, the newcomers, the giggity newcomers. I think the reason Halliburton I couldn't trust them with it is because they turn a profit, they charge everybody rent, and then take all the government money anyway. And when the immigrants built, those newcomers built a thing, Halliburton would get the profit from it, and then they'd keep it, and then they would have them build another new thing, and then they would keep the profit from that thing.
Maybe there's a happy medium.
Yeah, happy medium is what the capitalists keep telling us they're going to give us, but what it gets us is um, the happy medium is healthcare and colleges right now, where uh, the government doesn't provide healthcare, they just provide money for healthcare. And that leads to shit systems like Medicare being run by companies and HMOs and uh, stuff like that. And then it leads to the, what were they called? Colleges that also take all the government money and then continue to charge the students an obscene amount. I think that it would be the same for this. Yeah, Halliburton makes out at first, and the first couple of people through there get a pretty good life and stuff like that. But then Halliburton needs to keep that profit going, so they keep raising the price on the they become customers rather than citizens, and I don't want them to become Halliburton's customers. I'd want them to be a actual citizen of a city that they built. I think that would be interesting and good for the world. So then we push for the really wild idea, housing decommodification, because the housing companies are going to be very unhappy with this.
IDK what long-term profits you make from being a builder aside sale of the home.
Well, if you are for them,
Would
I don't know
Halliburton be the electric co?
they'd be collecting rent. They wouldn't sell the home, free exec, you maniac, you rube. They would not sell the home. They would own it forever and rent it forever, collecting rent forever. You would not be allowed. Halliburton wouldn't sell these homes. No, 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 no. They would rent them out for eternity. That's where the money
No,
is.
according to your plan, we're giving things away so we could pay Halliburton to give them away.
But they wouldn't want to. They would lobby. They would argue. Uh, they would change the deal and pray that we should pray that they don't alter it any further. They would alter the deal. We should pray they don't alter it further. Uh, they would collect rent forever, and I don't like that idea. I don't think that they should just collect rent forever. Um, what I'm talking about is like we're not. Are we giving things away? No. Well, the government's going to pay these people to build
Okay,
houses.
that's fine. If nobody does what they don't want even for a profit, then no plan will work.
Well, the government can do things for not a profit. They can. They just choose not to because they're drowning. They're neck deep, maybe even further than neck deep. They're up to their eyeballs in capitalism. The government built the Hoover Dam, right? That's a big thing, but a lot of companies helped out, and the government paid the things.
Government gives profit to Halliburton, houses are given to immigrants.
Well, I don't want Halliburton to be a part of this. I want the government to pay the people as employees to build those houses. I don't want Halliburton in this at all. In my plan, anyway. In yours, I think Halliburton would be a weakness. It would be an extra step that isn't necessary. Because it reeks of capitalism.
Well, the steps necessary for your plan require a lot of other capitalist builders and equipment and also skilled workers.
Nah, no, it doesn't.
Unless you're saying Army Corps can just build it.
Nah, the newcomers are going to build it. They are going to build it. According to Fox News, there's 1 million of them south of the border trying to get across the border every day. They can build it. They can be instructed by the Army Corps of Engineers, and the materials can be bought by the government and given to the Army Corps of Engineers, who then oversee it. And if that isn't enough, then we can hire a few overseers types who are construction managers, construction overseers, and that kind of thing. I mean, isn't most construction done by unskilled immigrants anyway? I mean, honestly.
I see my scouts have reported back from the lands to the north.
So they would go there. We're not giving them a house. We're making them work to build one, or work.
Right, would these houses come in kits and be up to code, or this just be a safety nightmare?
It would be fine. I'm all right with them being up to code. Yeah, I want them to last forever. I want this to be long term. This isn't a short term plan. This isn't a 1 week plan. This is a 20-year plan. And they would be working towards their own home, their own community. They would build it themselves. And there'd be a couple of them in each state,
Why not just buy a big 3D house printer from China?
If that worked, it wouldn't be off the table. If that is a solid building material that actually works, I wouldn't be against it. There's no reason to be against innovation and new stuff. So they would build their own stuff. They would build their own things. Let's see. Do I need any of this armor? Oak skin, poison bolt. They're putting that on. Helmet. So I gotta. It's a Diablo game, so you gotta stop and look at all the equipment.
Not every immigrant is ready for manual labor. They could be writers, entertainers, tailors, military people, and terrorists.
I agree. They could do any of those things if they were there. I'm on board for that. That's what the part of the social workers are going to be doing there. They would be talking to them, determining, hey, what do you have skills for? Have you ever trained in this thing? Can you do... and if they have absolutely zero, then we make them carry heavy things to and from the people who know how to build the things. Or carry a wheelbarrow, or push things up a hill, or push things down a hill, or carry stuff, or lay pipe, while under the direction of a very intelligent Army Corps of Engineers.
I would never employ a terrorist.
Well, I get what you're saying, that maybe they're terrorists, but that's part of the social workers that are there, the judges and stuff like that. They are going to do a background check on these people before they put them on this bus to this mythical city in, I don't know, in the middle of the, pick a state for it to start in. I want 2 or 3 in every state, but they're going to do a manpower estimate.
City.
New York City. There you go. There's lots of federal room there. It would be in New York State. If New York State has federal land, and I'm sure they do, it would be on federal land where they would be built. And they could go to New York State and build there. And we would we would know how many houses are there, hopefully, or the little trailer houses. We would know how many there are. We would send that many. And then if there's still more people waiting to get across, we do their background check while they're over there. We figure out where they need to go, figure out what skills they have. And if you have skills in a thing, then we send you to where that skill is needed. If you have no skills, maybe we send you to a place that gives you a couple of skills that you can understand and learn. Then they have skills and they aren't just complete drains, as the conservatives keep telling me that they are. Oops. And if they're getting some job skills, even carrying bricks back and forth while building a house is a type of skill. You could be paying attention. They could be paying attention. They'd be learning how to do it.
The Special Commission on Palestine could have just given Wisconsin to the Jewish people too.
Well, they could. Well, they could have. I don't think they did, and it would make sense for them not to. I mean, and if they had come in and started working and building an entire settlement, I would have clapped and cheered for them. And then they can become Americans.
I mean, we could have put them literally anywhere else, lol.
Yeah, I know. And probably should have. Looking at how it turned out, we probably should have.
Here is a even crazier idea. What if we started taking territory from the south of the border and building new communities there?
Well, that's another country that we would be stealing their land. We would be taking land from Mexico. That wouldn't go over very well with them. They wouldn't appreciate that, I think.
Yeah, unfortunately, anywhere else would not be as war profitable.
And I get what you're going for, but the idea that we can do with what we have a lot of empty land, we have a lot of federal land. We can put these people here. We have a severe lack of housing. That's a problem. Why do we have a lack of housing? Because of the market. The entire American economy is based on buying and selling each other's houses. That's insane. Uh, the government needs to start building houses.
Exactly, it's a perfect slow roll invasion.
Slow roll invasion. I don't want to do a slow roll invasion of Mexico KBP. Come on. Why would we want to do that? Bloodgrove. Holgerman Homestead. I just spoke to him. Yeah, slow roll invasion. Bad call. I don't like it. And it's not the first time anybody's suggested that idea either.
We have plenty of land here, but yeah, building more houses is off the table.
Yeah, it's off the table because the people who own all the houses don't want their houses to be worth less money. It's not out of anything other than them being greedy. They want the house price to stay high.
It will dilute the market, yeah.
It will dilute the market. And I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about diluting that market. I really don't. Fuck them. Fuck them right in the face. They're intentionally, willingly, for greed, making people's lives worse. And I'm not on board for it. And they're making their worse not because of some need or some sort of austerity. They're making it so that their prices stay high. Fuck them. Government needs to build houses. And then sell them way below market value. Abso-fucking-lutely. And that's kind of what we would be doing.
A very common tale, making things worse for profit.
Yeah, making things worse
you
for
always
profit.
My hot takes. Old as the hills.
I always shoot down your hot takes, KVP. Yeah, I know. So let's
order out of chaos.
Yeah. So the where am I supposed to go? In the Blood Grove. Where the fuck is the Blood Grove? It's way the fuck up there. How do I get up there? So, what else happens? Okay, so, crazy idea. So the government has just caused all these houses to be built. The newcomers live in them. Then they build more houses, and then they get good at it, and they build more houses. And then Americans and all those millennials who are crying about not being able to afford a house can go and buy a house there. They can, and they would. And because it's being sold because it's the government and they have too many houses now, the price goes way down. They brag about how cheap it is to live in this new city and stuff like that. The people go there, they get jobs. If you've done enough work in years of service or amount of stuff you've produced, you then become a citizen. You get a special type of citizen status, and then you're just a regular full American citizen, able to vote and everything. Then the people start moving there. What's the next step after that? The wild ass idea that I was talking about is the decommodification of all housing. If it's a house, and this is my wild ass idea, at a certain point, you would only be allowed to sell the house you have that you own to the government. You cannot sell it to another person. You cannot sell it to another company. You can only sell it to the government. The government then would, after a generation, own all the houses and assign people to live in them through a very complicated caseworker situation, very similar to a military billet situation kind of thing. You talk to your house recruiter type thing. Sewells, you're
Oh,
in.
cool, your idea is communism.
Oh, cool. My idea is slow steps toward communism. Burn slots. Yes. I'm a leftist and a progressive and a socialist. And then you suggest you, if you have a job somewhere, you talk to your housing specialist, and they determine if there's a place for you in a certain place. If not, they'll try and get you have one built. And then the people who are all those newcomers who are building the houses could build more if they need more in a certain area. And now we have an entire fleet of well-trained, people who are good at building houses, and then we build more of them. And then maintenance is taken care of by the same people. If you got a problem with your house, if you got a plumbing issue, if you got a hole in your wall, you call them and put in a ticket, and they'll say, okay, well, we'll send the guy over. And the guy,
Do you know that China has too many houses?
yeah, I know they do. That is a good thing. I'd rather have too many than too few. Right now, we have too few, don't we? Right now, we have a housing crisis because we don't have enough of them. And they're crazy ass expensive, and the millennials and the Gen Z can't afford them. That's also a problem. Maybe we can walk the middle between having too many and too few? Capitalism has run amok with the housing in America. The reason we have so few.
Did you see that movie where they shrink people to fix it?
No, but I wanted to watch
Nobody
it.
can afford the houses in China.
Nobody can afford the houses in China, so they're doing it completely wrong then. Sounds like a bad plan. They made too many, and now no one can still afford them. Because they don't have a free market. Matt Damon. That's right. I did not watch that movie, but
communism.
I should. Yeah, bad communism. I'm gonna blow your mind here and tell you, China's not communist. They're not. They're authoritarian-controlled capitalists.
If everyone would just agree with me, the world would be a more perfect place.
I know, right? That's what I'm doing here. Dragging everybody to agree with me. But no, then, so yeah, the decommodification of all the housing, it would take, it would take 30, 40, 50 years.
You can't sell your house for as low as the market is. They won't let you sell. That's commies.
You can't sell your house for as low as the market is. They won't let you sell. That's I don't know what you're talking about there, boss. Under the thing that I'm suggesting, you would have only one person you could sell your house to, and that would be the government. We would tell everybody at a time.
Check out Waldo's videos, https://www.youtubecom at Waldo videos.
We would tell everybody ahead of time. We would make sure that all the big fat companies know you can't sell it to a person. You cannot sell it to another company. You can only sell it to the government after, I don't know, January 1st of 2064.
Our government won't even do this for healthcare for their own citizens.
I know they won't. I wish they would. The decommodification of healthcare would be another really good idea. But maybe, just maybe, if we're lucky, the decommodification of healthcare could happen, and then people would see that it's good and right and working, and then they would not be so terrified of the decommodification of housing and stuff like that. But I think the housing is a lot harder sell, because the middle America really just knows nothing other than house prices. I mean, I know.
Yeah, instead of single-payer healthcare, you lefties won support for gender ideology.
Gender ideology is part of healthcare, dingus. What are you talking about? I'm not sure
When
if
you
you're...
buy a house in China, it comes with a bar of gold because you had to pay way above the market. Commies won't let you sell for market price. It's not part of single-payer healthcare.
It's not part of... Of course it is. It's part of healthcare. Burn slots. They're not communists. China's not communist. They never have been. Well, they might have been, but they're not right now. I don't know the entire history, and I know there was a whole cultural revolution thing, but right now they are authoritarian-controlled capitalists.
Yes, I said you didn't get the single-payer healthcare you all wanted.
We didn't get it because the woke agenda. I'm not sure what you're going for.
What does CCP mean?
CCP is the Chinese Communist Party. They're liars, Burnslot. Nazis were National Socialists. They weren't socialists. What does DPRK stand for, Burnslots? I'm going to ask you that. What's DPRK stand for? Democratic People's Republic of Korea. They're not democratic. They're not of the people because they don't have elections. They're not a republic. They are Korea. So 3 out of 4 lies right there in DPRK. The bad guys lie, Burnslots.
Nobody was fighting for gender ideology in 2008. The real lefties wanted Bernie and his socialist plan.
Yeah, I agree. In 2008, it was
What does China have to do to be more commie?
I don't know, give the means of production to the people instead of the authoritarian government.
Because we had big money problems that everyone was focused on.
Right. The healthcare back in 2008 was an issue between Obama and wanting to baby step us towards the socialized medicine, to decommodify it. His plan would baby step us towards it, but because most of the Dems are actually capitalists. Joe Biden himself is a capitalist.
But as the meme goes, introduce them to identity politics was their solution to get people off of Occupy Wall Street.
Well, that's a cool meme. I don't think, is that the position you're taking? Because I would argue against it. If you're just playing devil's advocate, that's cool too. The issue we had in 2008 was that the capitalists didn't want to give that money to the government. They didn't want the government to provide healthcare. They wanted companies.
BlackRock headed it up. Literally.
Yeah. Oh, headed up Occupy Wall Street, or the change to get people out of Occupy Wall Street?
They're considered the fourth branch of Gov.
Oh, okay. I think I follow what you're saying now. But yeah, where the fuck does this game want me to go? I've been everywhere.
ESG investing was the act of investing in identity politics.
ESG investing? I don't know what that is. I can Google it later. But if it was abandoning good things for nonsense, then I'm not on board for it. Even if those nonsense was gender ideology. What does that button do? The hell?
They rammed it down every company that they invested in. Its environmental, social, and green investing.
In an attempt to get rid of it, so that the companies would have to pay more money and they wouldn't be able to afford it anymore. Sounds like something a capitalist would do. Fill it with junk, fill it with garbage, fill it with unnecessary, bloated bureaucracy to make people not want
That's when we got diversity, equity, and inclusion.
I don't know. Those things aren't...
Yeah, the true power is working both sides of the coin.
You think BlackRock is pushing the DEI culture so that they can make a profit? I don't see how.
No. What game is this?
This is Grim Dawn.
They're
It's a
not pushing it
Diablo
to make
clone.
a direct profit off of it, they're pushing it to get people off things like Occupy Wall Street.
Okay, so they're trying to control the system and give the Wokies an inch so that they can take a mile.
ESG has largely been unprofitable, like Bud Light losing billions. That sounds like a Warhammer name.
Grim Dawn? Yeah, it does, doesn't it? ESG has largely been unprofitable, like Bud Light losing millions. Oh, ESG, is that a specific company? Or it's in a specific investing portfolio or something like that? Speak to
Woke
Ulgrim at
movies all
Homestead.
lose money.
Woke movie? No, they don't. They still make money. And I'll tell you the actual reason you get woke movies. You're putting your carts before your horses if you're thinking that they're making woke movies to make woke movies. Nah, man. They're making a movie, realizing it halfway through that it sucks and it's not very good, so they inject the woke and the feminism in there so that
ESG
you can't hate
stands for
it.
environmental, social, and governance. This is often called sustainability in a business context. Sustainability is about the company's business model, i.e. how its products and service. Environmental, social, and green investing causes capitalist companies to push woke stuff because BlackRock, the investor, says so.
Well,
I had to Google it.
that sounds like a great idea. Environmental, social, and governance. This is called sustainability. The business context, sustainability is all about the company's business model, how the products and services contribute to sustainable development. That's a good thing. Sustainable development and forward progress is a good idea. ESG causes many capitalist companies
governance,
to
thanks.
push.
Green is part of environmental already.
Good. Making the world and capitalism follow rules to be more sustainable and help contribute to the society is a good thing. I'm not gonna shit talk that. If you've got a specific reason that they're doing a bad job, I'd listen to it.
Sounds like the only good thing BlackRock has ever done.
I don't think BlackRock is doing that. I would assume that they're just doing it to make money. You're right. They're not usually the good guys. And I would doubt anything that they're doing.
Yes, let's run the world with diversity hires. It's working out so well all over lol.
It's fine for exec. It's not harming anything. It really isn't. If you think diversity, equity, and inclusion are harming things, it's because you've been poisoned with Fox News talking points.
We can't make money on polluted land.
I agree. That's why we shouldn't pollute the land. But it's a company that wants to pollute that land, not the government.
But how can I be mad at stuff if I can't row woke in front of it?
The people like the wokeism that's happening within those companies. They like it.
Diversity hires are important.
Diversity hires are fine. They're exactly like all the other hires. They're exactly the same.
Oh no, we have a term to box up a meaning.
Term to box up a meaning. I'm not sure what you're... Oh, did I just pick a faction? I did. Well, hope that works out.
Anything but that.
We have a term to box up a meaning.
Complaining about DAI is just a dog whistle for racists.
I think so too. I don't think Free Exec is a racist. I think he's just complaining about a thing that I don't think has harmed anybody. Free Exec, what's the harm?
Chamber of ideas.
What is the harm of DEI? I've yet to see any harm in it, honestly. I've been in corporate DEI meetings at my job, and you know what they are? Almost nothing. They're just a boring meeting where somebody tells you about their culture. I learned about Puerto Rico. The end. They didn't force me to
What's
say...
the harm of putting a more skilled worker aside for a diverse candidate?
That doesn't happen, free exec. It doesn't. That you're thinking that we're all just ignoring the high skilled worker, and
Can't they both be skilled?
they both are skilled. Honestly, the
It
corporate
absolutely happens,
recruiters.
Al.
No, it does not. And even if it did, it didn't happen nearly as badly or as often as some media would have you believe. I think they're tricking you. They're feeding you a line of bullshit that is written by racists. I'm not calling you a racist. I'm suggesting that racists have given you the idea that things are worse than they actually are.
It's clear you have never hired anyone but a hooker. There have
Nonsense.
been numerous lawsuits of highly decorated workers even getting fired for diverse replacements.
I don't believe you, free exec. I really don't. I think that
I can't
issue...
argue with ignorance, sorry.
You can't argue with ignorance. Well, we're both just talking shit right now. I don't have a number in front of me, and you're telling me a thing that I don't believe happened.
Read the news, Al.
Read the news. I know, I do every day, and it sure seems that what you're talking about isn't on it. I can look into it, but who put out that kind of news? Who puts out that kind of news? The people who have racism in their brains.
I am talking facts, and if you wish, I will spend the next 5 minutes finding every article for you.
You're welcome to put them into the Discord, and I will take a look at them, for sure. Let me
You can look up
post the
court
Discord.
cases lol. Discord. https discord gg beignet tridix 8. Yes, please.
By all means, that's what the Discord is for. Feel free to go there, toss them in there, and I'll give them a look. And all I'm telling you right now is my feelings on the matter, because I have not seen any evidence to suggest that, and I'm not saying that the evidence doesn't exist, I'm saying that I haven't seen any that suggests that these woke DEI initiatives are shooting down good people with skills and profitable, and hiring unskilled, completely unacceptable people because of their skin color. That's never happened. I've been in DEI initiatives within my work. I did 60 interviews for my job last year.
New York Times jury awards $10 million to white male executive in discrimination case.
Great. They did it wrong and they got punished. Man, the system is working, free exec. It's working. They did a bad job. They discriminated him, and then they got punished. You know what companies are going to do from now on? Not discriminate. That you're showing me evidence that people did a bad job and got punished for doing that. Yeah, they got caught. That's what I'm saying. If they get caught and they go to court, other companies will take note and not do that anymore. That's how this whole system functions.
That's hilarious.
It cost them $10 million to do a bad job. I bet they do a better job next time. You're reminding me of old smarmy sayings about babies and bathwater. People applied DEI incorrectly, and that cost somebody his job, and that cost the company $10 million.
If they got away with it, you might have a point.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, if this is a giant problem that everybody's doing and getting away with, and how does that help the company? I don't think it does. How does the company benefit from this? They don't. Which is why...
Well, it's funny because if you keep up with that angle, you'll see that companies are now folding their diversity hiring policies.
Right, they're closing them because they were doing a bad job.
Oh, and the Supreme Court recently outlawed it, that's why lol.
Outlawed DEI? I don't think so. I didn't hear about that.
I simply racist hiring. Yes, they did.
I'll look into it, but that seems like a headline I would have noticed. SCOTUS cancels DEI. That seems like something I would have noticed. But maybe I missed it.
At Free3Zek got a link for that, thanks. Yeah man, someone has to speak Spanish. How hard is that to believe? If it wasn't good for them, the Corps would not do it. Now the question is whether the Supreme Court's ban on race-conscious admissions box, they banned it for college admissions. And that's for university hiring.
Yeah, university hiring is also a difficult thing to do, because it's not an easy road to walk, and I think that the colleges are trying to do their best usually, but again, college is a scam, and I don't trust the people who work there. So yeah, I have no.
And that's why there were dozens of articles about companies shutting it down.
Well, the companies shut it down because it wasn't profitable.
Because they know it's illegal to hire based on race.
Well, right, it is illegal to hire based on race, or the lack thereof, or the choices.
And it's just a terrible idea, and you should feel bad. At Free3Zek, I'd like to check this. Do you have source?
If you're not making decisions based on that thing.
Well, what do you think diversity hiring is?
Diversity
it's racist hiring.
Hiring isn't happening, and if it does, they get fined for $10 million. You're lumping a meeting that I had where we learned about Puerto Rico, and we all went on with our lives, to some nefarious plot by a person to hire only certain brown people. You're lumping those two things together. DEI is more than just racist hiring.
Do you have a source on Supreme Court decision, or you just made that up? To get an Oscar now in Hollywood, you need a diverse cast.
That's... who cares? Who, honestly, for example, who gives a shit?
Idea.
Who gives a shit? It's art, boss. Who cares? You're conflating, you're smashing together these two things. DEI and racist hiring.
Money.
Oscars cost money to get, you maniac. You have to spend millions to create a movie, and then you have to...
Exec is spewing trash, not able to back it up, sad. Check out Waldo's videos, https://www.youtubecom at Waldo Videos.
There's nothing more based on feelings than Oscars, and you have to convince everybody that you deserve it anyway, and there's a million hours worth of politics that goes into that. That's an entirely different political game.
They call it the fire hose of lies. Fox, the future of affirmative action in the workplace at Gitanaranha.
Fox, the future of affirmative action in the workplace. Okay. What I'm saying is you're conflating two different things. DEI in a company and racist hiring.
You mentioned a Supreme Court decision. Please provide a link. Don't chenge the topic. The Supreme Court's decision to end affirmative action in college admissions could embolden actors to challenge the diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts of employers.
That makes sense. I understand what you're going at. That's not the Supreme Court getting rid of DEI or making it illegal or anything like that. I think he's... for example, I think you're over-exaggerating.
Message, right-click and press Google it.
Yeah, that is the name of the article. But that article is about colleges and college admissions, and that could lead.
The Supreme Court doesn't make things illegal.
They don't make things illegal. No, I know.
They confirm if something is legal or not.
And if not, then it's not legal. Right. Okay.
And because of that prior case, now employers have been giving up on DEI.
Right, because they're terrified of the harmless little thing that they're doing is going to cost them a lot of money. They're doing something harmless, and they're terrified that somebody is going to be tricked by racists into thinking that it is a racist thing to do, and they're going to get sued for it. It's a chilling effect. They've created a chilling effect. That's what we call it when that happens. They are afraid.
Much like the IVF chilling effect.
They turned the freaking frogs gay. Thanks for the follow. Burn slots, I appreciate it. You just turned a frog gay. Are you happy? Are you proud of yourself?
I love your rationalization attempts, but I think you should seek counseling on these terrible ideas.
Well, that's what I'm doing right here, isn't it? I'm too poor and broke to go to counseling, so this is my therapy. This
Yes.
is my therapy. You're my therapy, free exec.
Bringing race into any practice is racist. Welcome to group therapy. I am KBP.
How are you feeling today? Maybe that's what I should rename the streams. Group therapy. Waldo's group therapy.
Conservatives didn't ask for things like affirmative action or diversity hiring.
No, they didn't. But sometimes things have to be done
We want
even.
merit-based hiring only, please and thank you.
That is literally impossible. I'm telling you, I don't think that's possible.
This is simply real male logic versus emotional feminine logic.
And I'm the feminine one? I am, yeah, I'm very,
But
very
conservatives
ladylike.
did fight against desegregation of schools. So talking about diversity hiring on Twitch is racist what? At free 3 Zek logic has gender. Sorry G2 grams. Wow.
Alright, free exec, come back later. I appreciate you. Thanks for participating in the chat. It's very nice. Because that's what I want to do here, is talk to people who kind of disagree. It's fun. Yeah, logic has a gender. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. I don't think logic has a gender. I mean, there can be actions that are typically a part of a gender, but I don't think logic itself has one.
I bet this guy can't take a derivative of x2. With male logic.
But neither can I. And I'm willing to tell you that. That's the important part. The root of knowledge is knowing what you don't know. And I don't know how to do that. Wow. Immediate death. Holy shit. Just super dead. Alright. Let's try that again.
Math is objective truth.
Math is the closest we can get to objective. I agree. But there's still a little bit of politics involved in it. A little bit. Just a little bit of politics involved, even in math.
Math politics.
Math politics? Yeah, sure is. You know where? Do you use Roman
Really?
do you use Roman numerals or do you use the Japanese kanji numbers? Is that a political choice that you made? Or was that forced on you at birth? Are we base 10 or are we base 12? You could imagine.
It's not a political choice.
It's not it's kind of a political choice. It has the word Roman right there,
I
isn't
am
it?
base 2.
You're base 2, there you go. Has the word Roman right in it. The Romans were
You can be base 3.
and it's very, very slight. But yes, I think everything has a little bit of politics in it, even something as simple as math, because we're using the Roman numerals. And if
My life is lived in binary code.
if Japan took over the world, would we change that?
Roman numerals are used to name articles, not used in math.
Name article. What? No, 1, 2. What are they not Roman numerals? What are they called?
You're all just ones and zeros to me.
The 1s, the 0s, the 2s, the 3s, the 4s. Those are Roman numerals, aren't they? What are they called?
Chapter names, article names.
Okay. All right, sorry. What am I thinking of? What the hell are the normal American numbers called? They're not Roman. You're right. I got the wrong number. I got the wrong name. We use
Arabic.
Arabic? There you go. Pretty fucking political, isn't it? You tell me you use Arabic math? Motherfucker. I'm on to you. Got my eyes on
That's
you.
not political.
But if uh, but there are different choices, aren't there? You can use the Japanese kanji if you
That's
wanted to.
place of origin.
Right, and that where were you born starts to become a pretty political situation, doesn't it? I know I am reaching and I am stretching.
It's not political.
Everything is political. Where you're born and what numbers you use.
There is no pressure.
There's no pressure? Well, because nobody's putting any pressure on you
You are
right now.
trolling now.
I am trolling a little bit. Uh, but the point I'm trying to make is that things like that could be put under political pressure. I mean, are people under political
Learn some
pressure
math, bro.
to speak in certain languages? Are
Where I
people?
was born was due to a border that was very political.
Yeah, where he was born. Yeah, he wants it. KBP wants to use the Arabic numerals, but he can't.
Learn it before you say it's political.
Everything's political. That that's it. It's very, very,
You are
very,
not
very
speaking
little.
from point of facts
It's
or info.
very, very, very,
You
very,
are
very
trolling.
little. It's 0.01%. And I'm using a number to describe it, political. It's not 100%. It's not 1,000%. It's not like deciding who to vote for in a political thing, but
Did
it
you
is,
get that number exact?
yes,
Prove it.
exact. I
I can't
can't.
hear Waldo. Is it just me?
I think it's just you. Can anybody else hear me?
Why you full of shit now?
Why am I full of shit now? I've always been full of shit. Also, it's only
You
a
normally not
little
stupid.
bit. A little bit. You don't think which number scheme you use is based on where regional. You're right, it's regional. It's based on where you grew up and stuff like that. But where you grew up can have control over how you think and act. And that is political.
I think you should learn differential calculus before talking.
No, I already did, and it's pretty awesome. It's highly political. No, it's I don't need to know the specifics how to do differential calculus to know that Arabic numerals, choosing to use Arabic numerals over Japanese kanji, is a very small, very simple, not even shocking political choice. And I don't say political as bad. You realize that when I use the word political, I use it shockingly differently than everyone else in the world because they're all using it wrong. Political just means that there is
He doesn't
some
need to know
politics
his
behind it.
political if his faith tells him his political.
Everything is political to varying degrees. There are things that are very highly, maximally, shitloads of political, like Donald Trump and what he does on a normal day. Highly political. The side of the road you drive on is a political
Westerners
choice.
use forks while many Asians use chopsticks. Is this also political?
Yes, everything is political, man. That's what I'm telling you. Literally everything, except specific, like
All right, bro.
high-level math. But even the math itself is using Arabic numerals
Her
rather
head is
than
wired wrong.
my head is
Cultural
wired wrong.
equals political.
No, I'm ahead of
I
the curve.
understand now.
Cultural equals political. Yes, culture is a political. I'm just ahead of the curve, Gitana Raja. I'm ahead of the curve. Everybody else is going to be here eventually.
The terminal OGY and definitions you have are not in sync with reality.
Not yet. It will be next year.
Makes you weird.
It does make me weird. But I'm telling you how I
No.
see it and what it looks like. I am weird and I am unusual and I'm looking at things from a different vantage point. And I think that that's valuable and fun. And honestly, it's why I started the channel because some people likes to hear it. And I think it's interesting.
You are the oracle lol.
I'm not the oracle. I'm just feeling things out. This is how I feel. That's what I'm getting at. That this is how I feel.
Wrinkle brain. I live in the world of facts. It's cool.
Do you though?
And Waldo feels political.
Facts exist, but your actions are based on your feelings. Everything is political, and all politics is based on feelings. Would you disagree with that too? Because all politics is based on feelings. All of them. Left, right, center, mine, yours, everybody's. Everybody's politics are based on their feelings.
My actions or lack thereof are based on how much weed I smoked.
Exactly. That feeling that you get after the weed smoke determines your actions. If you feel tired, if you feel like you want to, if you feel like you're amped up, you'll go do a thing. If you feel like you had a good day and you just
It's
want to
not the
chill,
feeling, it's the weed.
right? The weed is the fact. The feeling is motivation. Motivation is a feeling. So if you are motivated to do a thing, then that's a feeling that got you to do the thing. If you're not motivated to do the thing, then that's a feeling. Motivation is feelings.
I am motivated to smoke more weed. Facts.
There you go.
Smoking weed for the first time, was it legal or illegal? Now that's political.
Yeah, I know. Weed's a pretty sharp political thing there. Weed is a object. It is objective.
Legal.
It exists. Marijuana exists. Yet,
California.
what you do with it is a political problem. I mean, it is a what happens with it, how it's grown, where it's sold, where it's not sold, how it's sold, with the stuff like that. All shockingly political, and far more political than numbers. I promise. Way more political. Like, way more. I'm not, and when I say the word political, I don't mean bad, horrible, nightmarish, the way the Republicans use that word. Republicans and conservatives use that word incorrectly. What they do is they say, oh, you're being political, meaning bad and wrong and difficult. Don't listen to them. They're full of it. Uh, it's the stupid joke that I make that there's only two kinds of there's only two genders, male and
I
political.
used political money with political Arab numericals to pay for political weed. I hear you, I think.
Right. Yeah, now you're getting
Seashells
it.
were political, tulip bulbs were political, gold is political. Did the changes policy? It's political.
Absolutely. Now I think you're getting what I'm stepping in. There are only two genders, male and political. To the conservative,
Don't
this
you
is the way they
think
think.
this is pure law?
Yes, pure law. All politics exists only within the human brain. It's not a. I can't fill this cup with politics. I can fill the cup with water or alcohol. Those are objects. But where you get the water, how you get the water, how we treat the water, and alcohol. I mean, that's political, right? You have to be a certain age. You have to get it from a certain place. It has to meet certain criteria before it's bottled and sold. All political. Everything is political, and all politics are based on feelings. What was I about to say? Yeah, the joke that I make about the right wing is that they think that there's only two genders. There's male and political. There's only two kinds of marriage: straight marriage and political marriage. There's only two races: white and political. There's only two religions: Christian and political. So if you're not one of those things, then you're the other. And they use the word incorrectly, I think, and that's what I keep trying to uh, describe to people, that they're using the word incorrectly. They're using the word wrong. They're not discussing actual ideas. They're saying that our stuff is right, good, correct, common sense, and anything that isn't right, good, common sense is political. And I think that's a wacky way to look at things, but they just keep doing it, you know. And that's why I try to argue with conservatives. Thomas is still gone for the moment. He is spreading democracy across Europe, but he will be back soon, I think. And he will be on in the next couple of weeks to tell us all his political ideas. And then I'm going to ask him probably.
They often invalidate their argument by calling to the Bible or Jesus as the source of truth.
I agree. That is not the way to get me to agree with you. It seems like a fictional book to me, and I pretty much figure that it's a fictional book. It's not any different than Harry Potter, honestly. So I,
Oh,
yeah, emo Waldo's in chat. When we get to this point, you have to do an emo Waldo in chat, because that's me.
Waldop 3 emo. Well, it's older than Harry Potter.
It's just older than Harry
Check
Potter,
out
right?
Waldo's videos, https www.youtubecom at Waldo videos.
Thank you, Kanuch. So yeah, that's my stance on it. It is older than Harry Potter, but it is very similar. I mean, it's filled with magic spells and people doing shit that's hard to believe.
Is this the Diablo 3?
No, this is Grim Dawn. This is a um, Diablo clone. I'm a sucker for Diablo clones. I really am.
These games look so similar.
They do, and I buy all of them. I shouldn't. I should stop, but I can't. Uh, this is my addiction, you know?
Have you played Darkest Dungeon?
Yes, I did Darkest Dungeon and Darkest Dungeon 2. Not on stream, but on my own time. I,
It's
I,
slow-paced, turn-based.
yeah, I get to the usually towards the end, and it gets crazy hard, and I quit. I didn't finish either one of them. I got towards what in the first Darkest Dungeon. I think I got towards
I
the
love the first one, not the second one.
yeah. I got to the very end of the first one, where you're like absolutely in like the last bit of the dungeon. I knew that it was the end of the game. This was years and years ago, and then it was way too hard, and it's just so hard. And I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore.
Cause they made my fav character Evil the Antiquarian, I refuse to play the second one.
Well, that's too bad. Yeah, I played the second one a few months ago, and it was okay. Well, I didn't like it quite as much as I liked the first one. But I got towards the end of that as well, and I was like, you know what? It's incredibly too hard, and then I quit because I'm not a very good gamer.
Look what they did to my loot waifu, they massacred her. DD1 to beat the end game, kinda need to read the wiki for specific builds that work well.
Right, and that makes sense. I got to that point when I get to a point in a game where I'm like, okay, all the choices I made were wrong, and I have to either start over or read the wiki and stuff like that. Generally, that's when I quit. Except, of course, for Path of Exile, in which I will just play Path of Exile forever, even if I have to check the wikis and stuff like that.
The game is about pain and suffering, so you did excellent.
I got the pain and I got the suffering. I did. Uh, and then when I couldn't have any more pain and suffering, I left it. Uh, but then I bought the sequel, so I mean, and then got pain and suffering in that one. Then I quit there too. Um, in that same pain and suffering thing, what about Ring of Suffering? Did you ever play that one? I really like that one. Ring of Suffering. It's a card-based thing, but the cards are always in a circle, and you have to deal with them in the right order.
At Shinsinto, why did they do it? A lot of people love the loot girl.
Slay. Reaping what you sow. Darkvale Gate, far north of Sorrow. Oh, I'm nowhere near that. Okay. Got it. Let's go back to town. Sell some shit. Sorry, Sewells in YouTube chat. You have said, so bringing population to the fold would allow our governments to keep closer tabs on them? Yes, I think so. 20 years later, the new cover generation would be lauded as national heroes and helped build the country and make it literally more livable. I agree with you, Sewells. Absolutely what I was going for. I'd rather have room to grow than be in a pressure cooker. Yeah, I agree.
Katanaranha probably cause the class reduces risk for grinding.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is Aramaic. Okay, so those are the Aramaic numbers. Thanks for being in YouTube chat, Sewells. I just don't hear it, so I forget that it's there. I forget. Sorry about that, but I appreciate you being here. Thanks for being here. Let's go back to where's that stupid city? There it is, Homestead. Yeah.
I wonder now if Koken will become legal too.
It might someday. I mean, that would really cut down on the drug trafficking, right? Of it, anyway. Unless we find something else. Because is it even still valuable for marijuana to be smuggled from south to north? I mean, I don't even think they do that anymore. It's not worth the money because it's so legal. And the bad news is that we did find a new drug to smuggle across there.
I read part of Oregon has all legal.
Yeah, they're also trying to. There's a
Not
few.
sure how it's working out.
Well, it actually they didn't give it enough time. Honestly, if you Google it today, I think you'll see stories about the Oregon legislature trying to undo the full legality because they didn't do the other half of the situation where you help the people who are addicted. They didn't fund that. So it's legal. They're not helping the people who are addicted get off of it when they ask for help because they can't, so they don't. And that leads to higher numbers, and those numbers make the conservative types freak out. And then they get upset and grumpy.
Druggies moving there.
Yeah. Well, that's part of it as well. Sorry for this, I'm sure, riveting gameplay of me reading very tiny words and then putting them in the right place.
In the very North Cali right by Oregon border, meth is really big. It's really fucked up, people screaming on the streets and acting crazy.
Yeah, I've seen things like that as well. When I go into a big city, or I haven't seen it anywhere else, really, honestly. But um, and I think that some of that could be solved if they had houses.
Inventory Tetris is a game code game mechanic.
Yeah. Inventory Tetris. I think we could solve some of that with the housing stuff, because then those people would be uh, put into a Section 8 style housing unit. Hopefully, that would be right on
You
top
mean micro
of.
houses?
Well, no, not micro houses, but like when the newcomers that I was describing earlier with the my solution to
They are
housing.
building some here in San Jose.
Yeah, a tenement almost, like a very large building, and the first floor is drug rehab, and then you live on the second floor. And if you want to get to that second floor, you have to walk through. Make it to where they can't dodge it, you know? Maybe not quite that extreme, but like something along those lines, where if you want to live in this government house because you are a drug addict, you can go there, and they will take care of you, and they will hopefully help you out and make you better.
Many bums don't want to be near other bums cause they get robbed and stuff.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, well, maybe we have a drug place and a police department on the first floor, and they wouldn't go there because they wouldn't want to, and they'd get hassled. Yeah, I know. It's not a good system, and I can't think of any other way to prevent it other than give them a place to be. But then that place they are turns shitty, so we might just be better off leaving them outside. At least they could see you. You can see everybody, but that makes the businesses unhappy. That makes the people wandering around uncomfortable. There's no good answer for any of these problems. Sorrow's Bastion. Where's Sorrow's Bastion? You know, maybe these places wouldn't be filled with demons and stuff like that if you didn't name them the Rotting Corpse Lands or the Sorrow's Bastion or the Immolation or Dead Man's Gulch or Smuggler's Pass. I'm just saying. Like, maybe this is your fault.
Y'all demons need Jesus.
Yeah, the demons need Jesus, and I'm going to bring it to him, I suppose. Now, this guy is here somewhere. He wants the remains of this dead guy. That's just weird and gross.
These would be the names given to your immigration cities.
Dead Man's Gulch, the Fields of Sorrow. You're right. They'd have to have a name, right? So that name would be the Immolation Station. Wary Fields. Miseryville. You know, yeah, that's what we would name them. Honestly, that would get more liberals and Gen Z to live there. It was named Worry Station. Worryton. Miseryville. They jump on that shit. Do you guys hear the Bark Boys outside? They're going nuts out there. I don't know if you can hear them. I hear them quite well, but I don't know if my mic is picking it up.
I was waiting for a bork break.
Well, can you hear them outside?
It's good to have a cheap mic. We hear nothing.
Oh, good. Yeah. Because the lady that walks by and gives them treats is out there, and so they're going absolutely apeshit. But it's a nice sunny day outside, so I'm inside playing video games, obviously. It's a gorgeous, perfect day, so they've been out there the entire time. I haven't seen Bobo to do a bork break at all, because he's just having a great time out there, barking at everything that moves. And there's a lot moving today, because it's such a nice day.
I feel my cats are smarter than an average dog.
Probably true. I mean, my Bark Boys are pretty dumb. Is that because they're actually smarter, or they're just lazy? So that's what my cat issue was, is they just didn't do anything. They slept 23 and a half hours a day. So it's real hard to get into trouble. Exploded. Now we're in a mine? Okay. Let's finish this place first.
Smart enough to conserve energy makes sense.
They're maintaining a state of cat-like readiness for any emergency that pops up. Yeah, I got you. Alright, so here's what I'll do. Let's see, what's the timing look like on Twitch? Come on. Mouse. It looks like I just did an ad. So I'm gonna...
Well, they do like to cheap on plastic bags.
It's true. I'm going to leave this pause for a moment. I'm going to go grab the Bobo so we can have a Bobo bark break. And then I'm going to grab a beer, Bobo and a beer. And then I will be right back. I can take these with me. They're cordless.
Bear and a bong.
All right. Sorry to keep you waiting. Here we go. It's Bobo, the baby bark boy. Hi, Bo. How are you doing? He was barking at the lady that walked out. He's barking at everybody that walks down the street today. And there's a lot of people walking down the street because it's nice outside. They say, yeah, you can see it. So nice out there. Oh, there's a motorcycle. He wants to go get it. Go get the motorcycle. Are you going to get the motorcycle? Go get it. Go get it. Go get it.
Yay, it's Bobo.
Go
Poodle.
get the motorcycle. Nah, that is a half Yorkie, half something with an M, Maltese or something like that. Yeah,
Yorkie.
Morkie. It's half Yorkie, half Maltese. So they call it a Morkie. And his name is Bobo, the baby bark boy. He bark. He bark a lot. All day.
Does he tremble like a poodle?
If he gets excited, yeah. If he's really excited about something, he will. And I think the school bus just drove by, so he had to go bark at that too.
My cats would likely harass him.
Yeah. I don't think he's ever met a cat. He's still only 5, 6 months old, something like that. So I don't think he's ever met a cat, except for the ones that are running around outside my house. The slightly half feral ones that live with a family but go out all night. That kind of cat. But they generally don't come in the yard. They stand right outside the yard because they're smarter, and they tease the dogs. Okay, where did I leave off on the plan? The plan. Housing has just been decommodified, right? Because you can only sell your house to a government, to the government. The government then eventually owns nearly all of them. nearly all the houses. There's a few long-term holdouts or of homes that somebody owned and they just do not want to sell. And it's been in their family for a long time. There might be a sort of a way to deal with that and I would say that if you already live there, you get to stay there. That's fine. If you like your house, you can keep your house. Oh, hey kid, what's up?
Hello, welcome. I don't know why I'm welcoming you.
Mm-hmm.
That's Douglas Sullivan Oldbarrow.
That's true.
Ah,
I'm glad the school taught you to read.
they did.
They did. See? Good job, school.
No, actually, I learned how to read from something. I wasn't in school yet. I learned to read before school.
Okay. Anyway, before we got so rudely interrupted by the kid thing, what was I thinking? Oh yeah. Okay, so yeah, the government owns all the houses. You go through a caseworker almost to like change to a different house, and then the government owns them all, and then just kind of uh, appropriates them. Is that communism? Yeah, kinda, but it couldn't be any fucking worse than what we have. Are there flaws within the system? Absolutely. Maybe you get a crooked caseworker. Maybe your job is in a different place, and there aren't enough houses in that space. Um, all entirely possible to have those problems, but those problems happen now, and they cost you a shitload of money. We still have housing problems right now, and they're very, very, very expensive. And the people who don't have housing problems are the rich, you know? So that is my wacky, cockamamie, goofy idea on how to make this system better. Now, this guy's gonna murder me again. Unless I play it smart. Damn! Dropped immediately. Went in there to hit him and he's just boop, dead. Alright. But I've learned nothing, so I will go back and do it again. I, in fact, cannot learn. Is there a path through here? It looks like there should be, but there's not. Alright, so, do I have anything that can make it better? I think so. Can't I use this? Lasts a few minutes? 0. There we go. I buffed. Oh, I did it. There we go. Are you back, Bo? Come here. Ah! Another Bobo break. Look. He came back to us this time. Oh. Hi, Bo. How are you? Say hello to the internet. This is the internet. It's a terrible place. You should never go there. Filled with just absolute lunatics. Don't go. It's bad for you. Look at the size of these ears.
We love you, Bobo.
They're gigantic. Look at those ears. Stick your ears back up. Yeah, look at those things. They're huge. Those are entirely too big, aren't they? Yeah, they're entirely too big. I'm going to have to chop them off. All right. The wind is blowing the curtains, and he's trying to chase the curtains and play with them. Oh, I'm in the bone pit. The bone pit is ready. Well, that was a good time. All right, let's keep going. I want to go that way. Let's go around. Okay. Hey, teleporty. All right, making progress. So no, bad guys. But kinda not surprised. Think I can make it? I don't think I want to try. No. Did I go the wrong way? Yeah, I always go the wrong way. Oh no, the villagers are under attack. These fools brought guns to a chain lightning fight. Idiots. Storming their castle. My goodness. Like literally, because I'm throwing around lightning. Oh, I'm going into the fort. More dynamite. I've been picking up so much dynamite, I just don't have anything to do with it. I don't know what to do with it. Boss.
So what would Unchained Lightning be?
Unchained lightning. I suppose that would be a light bulb, right? Or a battery. Ooh, yeah, a battery. Unchained lightning. Battery. Full of lightning. Ain't going nowhere. Ain't bouncing around. Ain't moving around. Just sitting completely still. Waiting. Patiently. More dynamite. What am I doing with all this stuff? Goddamn terrorists. Look at me. Carrying around 9 bundles of dynamite. Can do a whole
The
jihad.
Barbie movie made a lot of money.
The Barbie movie did make a lot of money.
Woke movie.
Woke movie. Yeah, exactly. And I got distracted before I was talking about woke movies. I think that they set out to make good movies. About halfway through, they realize this isn't a very good movie. And so they wedge the feminism and the wokeism in there so that more people will like it. With the thought, the idea that maybe if there's a good message, they'll like the movie more. And I think that actually kind of works. Um, have you? And the analogy I would compare it to is cooking. Have you ever cooked dinner? Then about like halfway through cooking the dinner, you're like, oh God, this is going to be bad. I left something out. I didn't put something else in. The meat wasn't that good. I did something wrong, and this is going to be a bad meal. What do you do with it? You add a bunch of salt. You add a bunch of hot sauce. You throw a bunch of cheese on it. All of a sudden, it's slightly better than it would have been. I would suggest to you that woke movies go through that exact same process. They start out to make something great. They get about halfway and they're like, man, this isn't that good. It's not that interesting. Let's put some hot sauce in there and make it a feminist message. Let's put some salt on top of it and push an agenda that would have a good message that people would like. That's how I think that the woke movies are actually happening. Dynamites for barricades. It'd be man-made cave-in. They unlock forward progress. Oh, okay.
Woke is cheesy, salty, spicy. I learned something today.
Exactly. Woke is cheesy, salty, spicy. Uh, or you can go the other direction and make it anti-woke, which is what I would call spicy at the moment. That is the spicy flavor. You get your anti-wokeism and you spice it up with, hey, we're not like those woke movies, you know? This is the conservative hot sauce that the conservatives are using right now. Staring at equipment. Very riveting stream content, I'm sure. What is that? That's a funny looking crown. Caster helmet. Freeze duration. Bonus to all pets. I do have pets. But I'd lose my insight. Nah, insight's way better. Okay, we can learn that. Learn how to make Squire's handguards. Exciting. And what are you? Sacred Hammer of Eternal Wrath. That's a one-handed mace. Not interested. Yeah, one-handed scepter. Not interested. Okay, the rest of that gets sold. Wait, what is this? Weeping the Mantle of the Weeping Eye. Lightning damage up 28. Electrocute damage up 28. That sounds like a good one. Requires level 40. Okay. Put that over here for later. Put you on. Later. Okay. Repeat what you sow. It's like carve the thing. Order. Bring remains to Master Varric in Sorrow's Patch. I've been trying to do that one. I don't know where that guy is. Okay. Try and find the guy. That's what we'll do. Find the guy. He's out in the world somewhere. That's where most guys are. I'll clean this fort out. That's nice. Have I seen any woke movies lately, I wonder? I mean, I watched the Marvels, which was fine. It wasn't some terrible nightmare of a movie, the Marvels.
I see old C-SPAN as bland white rice, then they added alt-right and woke, now it's more of a variety show.
Right, yeah. C-SPAN is a pretty good explanation of what I'm talking about. They... Good Lord. They have just the absolute most boring content imaginable, which is just straight raw feed of the House of Representatives, which is incredibly boring. I can't even watch C-SPAN most times. And then to spice it up, what they do is they throw in the callers, and then the callers from Walla Walla, Washington, or from Pittsburgh or something like that. They're like, oh, now let's go to Roy in Pittsburgh, and then Roy will just absolutely say the most insane shit you've ever heard any human ever have to say, and then they'll be like, oh, okay, and then the straight-faced, very chill host on C-SPAN says, oh, okay, well, thanks for that opinion, Roy, and you're like, dude, no. Dude just said like lizards are running the government, and you're like, okay, thanks, Roy. It's kind of wild. But yeah, that's the crazy is a spice that you gotta pass out here and there, or the wokeism or the anti-wokeism. Yeah, it's to spice up your content. And just like actual spices, if you use too much of one, you'll end up not appreciating the flavor of it anymore. If you watch Alex Jones like constantly, start to get bored of it. You know, you'll start to recognize that it's what's happening and what the grift is and stuff like that, what he's doing and what he's going to say on any particular subject. And then you don't need him anymore. So to prevent that from happening, then he starts going above and above beyond. He just keeps increasing and increasing and increasing and going extremely more wild than he used to be. Oh, I'm going to die. The same thing happened to, what's his name, Glenn Beck. Because I'm not a big Glenn Beck fan, but I was a fan. I watched his show on CNN because he was on CNN, you know, like reasonable and shit. And he was the first time I ever saw him, he was complaining about the cost of tuition and books in a college and how it's the same damn book, only it costs. They rearrange the chapters and it costs 3 times as much in it this year and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, this guy's got some good points. And then he was complaining about his own healthcare problems and stuff like that, and how difficult it was for him to get healthcare, even though he had money and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, this guy might have something to talk about. And then he just fell off the deep end and went absolutely ape shit over the oligarchs. And he had to just keep pushing and pushing and pushing to be more extreme so that people would pay attention to him. And so yeah, that's what happened with him. And then it became a gold shill. So yeah, Glenn Beck was a gold shill, and that was always a weird thing to watch because he would, as ads pop up on my channel, Glenn Beck's TV ads would be for poor people to sell their gold to cashforgold.com. So you give them your gold, and in return you get cash. Because gold is not important and you don't need it. You don't need that chain. You don't need that ring. You don't need that necklace. Send it to us and we'll give you some money. Money is useful. Great. Then the other commercial that came on during Glenn Beck's program was a gold bond or whatever it was that was telling rich people to buy gold because cash is worthless and you need gold. And if you call now, you can get this free CD or a free DVD that tells you all the reasons you should buy gold and invest in gold. And then on that DVD was Glenn Beck telling you that you needed to buy gold. And in that gold, if you didn't buy enough of it, they actually just sent you a sheet of paper saying, hey, we're going to hang on to this gold for you, but you own it. Yeah, you totally own that gold. Here's a sheet of paper proving that you own this gold, which is a currency, right? So they gave you a paper currency to prove that you owned the gold, which was probably a scam. And then they could sell it to 5, 6, 7, 8 people. Honestly, those pieces of paper, and on the same bar of gold because they're fucking crooked. And then Glenn Beck tells you that it's important, and then Glenn Beck goes onto his TV program and tells you that the sky is falling, the world's coming apart, and everything's failing. And if that's true, and you believe it, then guess what? The price of gold goes up. And he has lots of gold, and he's making the price of gold go up. It was a scam all the way down. But I think most of the economy is a scam. I mean, honestly. Especially the stock market. There's a really good YouTuber named Dan Olson who has a show called Folding Ideas. He's a much better YouTuber than I am. And you should subscribe to him. What are you doing wasting time with me here? You be watching Dan Olson. Anyway.
I hate scams.
I hate scams too. He does like a 2-hour long video about NFTs and why they're a scam. And it was fantastic.
Slots. The result is at KBP 24. Sorry, keep trying. You lost 50 points.
And if you apply the logic he used on the NFTs to crypto and Bitcoin, those are scams too. And then he did one about Bitcoin and meme stocks and stuff like that. And if you apply all of that stuff to the stock market,
gamble 100. At KBP 24 dice roll result 4, you got half of the bet back.
The stock market is a scam too. So, yeah, that is where I am. I know Thomas and a couple of friends in real life who just keep swearing that I don't understand the economy. And the more I understand, the more I the more I think it's a scam. The more I comprehend about the economy, the more I think that it is, in fact, an entire imaginary house of cards that is bound to fall any minute.
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans. I know. It is shenanigans. Completely. They're all like, yeah, you have to, you, and Thomas said it one time as well. Like, you just don't understand how the economy works. You have to take an economy class. I was like, wait, so if I don't believe in Jesus, I should go to church, and then they'll tell me it's real, and then if I go there well enough, long enough, I'll start to believe it. That's what it sounds like to me. Because the economy is based on feelings, as with everything else. Um, it's based on demand, which is a feeling. Sometimes you can chart feelings. I'm not saying it's not scientific, but it is a feeling. But all those economy bros, all the day traders, would throw a fit about that. They don't like me saying that. They think I'm wrong, but I think that they're imaginary. I think that they're calling it math. They're calling it soft science hard science. And I think economy is soft science. No, the economy is a soft science, not that different than psychology or psychiatry and stuff like that. Those are, I would say, those are even harder sciences than uh, the economy. But only slightly harder, you know? That's a lot of fuckers. Glad I brought the chain lightning. But yeah, I have a serious distrust of most economists. They, I think, especially if they're on TV. If you're famous and on TV and an economist, I do not trust you. Uh, because they will say things to make money. If telling a lie will make an economist more money, they'll tell a lie. I mean, honestly, they're kind of like it's kind of like playing 3D chess, you know? Because the economy is all made up and based on feelings, you know? So, um, if they go on TV and tell you how to feel about a certain thing or how they feel about a certain thing, then you intake that and you feel the same. They're controlling the market, right? Not completely, but somewhat. Whoa. Did I just... Wow. I think I'm about 50 hours into this game and I did not know. Well, not 50 hours, but like, I'm many levels. I'm 37 levels into this game and I didn't know you could turn the camera. Fucking game changer. But I only want it to face north anyway. Because I get lost if it's not. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah. Now we're facing north.
Now you'll never find your way.
I know, I'm lost! Ah!
It can hold a map upside down, but it doesn't help.
I compare economics to music theory. There are just true patterns to discern, but some point it's just yes. Yeah, exactly. Like yeah, you can chart out, you can map a lot of the things that happen within an economy after it happens, but it's just jazz, you know. At some point, it's just the feelings that somebody had. Someone felt fear that the stock was going to plummet, so they sold their stock. And then other people saw that selling and panicked as well, feeling that the stock was about to plummet. So the price goes down. That's all feelings. Did they get that feeling from looking at sales numbers? Sure. Entirely possible, entirely plausible.
Sell and sell short.
Sell and sell short, yeah. Did they get that feeling of dread, of fear from a bad sales report? Yes, entirely possible. That they saw a fact and had a feeling. That's how the system works. That's how your brain works. It sees facts, then it has feelings. And if those feelings are dread, fear, panic, disgust, loss, then you will sell the stock based on that. So that is a feeling. I don't think that the stock market is based on feelings. I do think it's based on feelings. It's not based on facts. The choices you make might be what's the word? Your choices might be because of the facts that happened, but again, that's
Stock market is a confidence game.
it's a con game. I agree, and anybody who's pushing it, especially if you're on TV, are definitely trying to maximize the amount of con game that they've got going on. There's who's that most famous economist? He's on TV all the time. Jim Cramer. He just operates on pure base feelings all day, every day. And there are some people who say you should follow exactly what he says, and there's some people who do bet against everything, sing everything he says, and you're wrong both times. If you follow everything he says, he's been spectacularly wrong in the past. If you go against everything he says, you would also lose money. You have to know what he actually thinks, which he won't tell you, because he's a con man, and do what he actually thinks is valuable, not just what he's telling you to maximize his benefit. And that's where the whole thing, I think, falls apart, is that there are people who will lie to you for their own benefit. And in doing so, you get led down the wrong way. And I do avoid the stock market. I have received stock for work I've done before, but I immediately sell it. Like immediately. The day I get them, toss them. Or I don't toss them. I sell them immediately. Because and I know I have a couple of friends who yell at me about this, but
Really?
oh yeah, I just sell them immediately. I've received them in it's a company stock option kind of thing. Just toss them, not toss them, but just sell them immediately. Because if I hold it, I'm being slightly smarmy here, but like somebody lost money on the stock market today. Somebody did.
I make good money from selling options on regular basis.
I mean, I get the money for it, but I am terrified of the stock market because somebody's going to lose money there today. Somebody lost money there yesterday, and somebody's going to be losing money there tomorrow. It'll be me all 3 days. Every choice I make is the wrong one. And because I don't trust it, I immediately just sell them and call it a win. Also because I'm not going to do any of the work to determine what stocks to have or which ones pay dividends and stuff like that or what a blue chip is and all that shit. I don't trust any of those people. Sell them immediately. Get the hell out of the room. If I think the room is filled with con men, I'm going to get the money I'm owed and then run out as fast as possible so that nobody else cons me. That's kind of how I feel about it. They can't con me if I'm not in the room with them. Hopefully. I mean, they do pass legislation and stuff like that, and they are in charge of the entire government, but maybe we could do something about that as well. Ooh, here we go. Fort entrance. Okay, let's go to the fort. I'm in the Darkvale Gate. Ooh, let's go back home so I can homestead so I can sell all my junk. Katana Raja, give me some economic ideas. Do you think I'm a crazy person for not trusting the stock market? Am I crazy for thinking it's all a big Ponzi scheme?
Where do you invest?
Oh, literally
Real
nowhere.
estate,
Literally nowhere.
gold.
No, literally nowhere. The minute the company I work for gives me some stock, I sell it. Literally
Yes,
nowhere.
very bad.
It is the thing that drives my IRL friends crazy. It drives Thomas crazy. It drives a couple of my IRL friends crazy. That I don't think that the economy works and I don't trust it and I avoid it at all costs. I own zero stocks right now. Zero. I don't invest anywhere. I'm invested in nothing because I don't trust it. Whatever I invest in will lose tomorrow. I don't care what it is. I've literally walked up to like,
I think you already know what you're doing wrong.
no,
You don't need me.
I know exactly what I'm doing right. I'm avoiding all of that. Avoiding it is the right call for me. I am bad luck. Like I'm just bad luck. The thing I invest in will tank tomorrow. If I get into your car, you will get lost. You could be driving, you know exactly where you're going, but when I get in there, you get lost.
Don't try to pick stocks.
When I walk up to a winning craps
You
table,
buy total stock market fund.
everybody fails. When I walk up to the betting table, when I go to the blackjack table, the dealer wins and everybody else loses. When I go to the craps table, everybody loses. When I sit down at a
From Fidelity or Vanguard.
I've heard that as well. That you don't buy a specific stock,
At
you buy
Waldo,
into
I
the thing.
need you to buy some Truth Social stocks.
Some Truth Social stocks, right? So that it'll go down. No, because that would be my bad luck. I don't like Donald Trump, and if I bought into his stock, it would skyrocket, and that would be bad for me.
Avoid all meme stocks.
Right. And so no, I'm going further
Avoid all
than
individual stocks.
I'm going further than avoiding meme stocks and individual stocks. I'm avoiding all of them. All of them. I'm avoiding all of them. I should not be on the market.
You gotta get some KBP coins.
Some KBP coins. some uh, some KBP coins. How much are those worth?
If you really are this scared, buy U.S. Treasury bonds.
I don't have any money to buy treasury bonds. I'm not. I don't have a whole bit of cash to invest into things. I avoid it. Don't invest in things. I don't invest in anything at all ever. I agree with you that the treasury bonds, dude. If I bought treasury bonds, the government would collapse. That's what would happen. That's what would happen. I'm doing you a favor by not buying treasury bonds because if I did, the government would collapse. I am the harbinger of doom. I am the bad luck charm. I am the jinx. Okay?
The hard thing with investing is keeping up with inflation.
The thing I invest in will collapse and fail.
You overestimate your influence on the financial markets.
My influence is dumb luck. I am a jinx, and I know it. As long as I know it and I recognize it, I can somewhat avoid intentionally jinxing the things that I do like. I mean, Twitch, now that I'm streaming on Twitch, I'm absolutely going to tank them. Like, I'm going to ruin them financially.
Neither you nor I have any influence. But apes strong together. But look at all these ads.
But look at all these ads. I know. I'm going to somehow cause lower whatever ads you're seeing. They're going to lose business, and then Twitch is going to lose money, and then they're going to cancel me from being a partner. You wouldn't want to be a part of any group that I'm a part of. Now I'm just memeing.
Gonna reap that 03-cent ad revenue.
Right? Yeah, I am. I'm making about 3 cents off of every one of those ads or something like that. It's silly, but it's better than what I'm doing on YouTube. Honestly, I think I'm not even anywhere close to being monetized on YouTube. I think I put out a video today. I mean, I definitely put out a video today, but
when my son was born 9 years ago, I put $35K into Fidelity Total Stock Market Fund for his education.
That sounds great.
Now it's worth $89K.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm glad that's working for you. I don't have 35K to put in anywhere. I have one of those 401Ks, but I'm just putting into it and leaving it alone, and then not doing anything with it. And I recognize that I guess that is an investment. I suppose if we're talking investments, I do have that.
Immigration, close the border, put the army there, housing problem, reduce regulations, and allow contractors to build more houses.
Hey, Cottonmouth's here. We have a challenger. Immigration, close the border, put the army there to shoot the people as they come across. That sounds like a terrible crime. Housing problem, reduce regulations, allow contractors to build more houses. It's not regulations, Cottonmouth, that's preventing them from building houses. It's capitalists. It's companies that do not want the housing market diluted. They don't want the price of houses to go down by building more of them. That's not a regulation. That's capitalism working as intended. That's why I'm not a capitalist. I just went on a rant about how much I don't trust the stock market.
Is immigration really a problem? Is there data on this?
I don't think it's that big of a problem. I think the way we're handling it is the problem. The problem with immigration is the way we handle it. We're not doing a good job figuring out what to do with these people.
Without permission is illegal. A number of countries will shoot your ass for that.
Okay, well, those would be bad countries, and I don't want our country to be a bad country. We should do better. Land of the free, home of the brave. We should be brave enough to offer these people freedom rather than taking it away with a bullet.
Yeah, shooting people sounds like a bunch of scaredy cats. At Cottonmouth NF facts, but is immigration from Mexico side hurting us overall? We need the labor.
Good point. We need the labor. I think immigration is helping us. It's making us a better country. It's making us a better place.
Border control is a job of government. Housing is not a legitimate job of government. Read your Constitution.
The Constitution doesn't mention anything about housing, I don't think. What part of the Constitution mentions housing?
At Gitanaranha, follow the law.
The law is wrong, Cottonmouth. The law needs to be updated, but it won't be because the right wing likes the way it is, and the left is scared.
At Cottonmouth NF, I am not sure what you mean.
Laws can change, Cottonmouth. You know they're not the law of the land changes sometimes. It's not the law of thermodynamics. We can, in fact, write it differently. We can choose to write it differently if we want to. And I want to.
Law about what COVID era entrance?
Inventory Tetris. Very exciting.
At Gitanaranha, apply to immigrate to the U.S. from your home country. Wait until you get permission from the USA to come here. Follow the legal naturalization process.
I'm alright with that, Cottonmouth. Let's make it faster. Let's make it better. Let's make it
At
more.
Cottonmouth NF, sure bro, I agree with you, and many do this.
Let's make it cheaper. Let's make it easier. Let's make it faster. And then once they do that, let's put them, this is my, now that you're here, my solution that I've been talking about all day, is to give them work to do in the country to build new cities in each town, in each state. Build new cities in each state. A couple of states, find federal land within...
Does not mean we just shoot the ones who try to run the border. Join the Discord to send links and suggestions. https discord gg benyet tridix 8.
What we do is we give them something to do within the country that makes us better and that they agree to do. And if they do that for us, with us, the country gets better and they get to become citizens. That's the plan I have anyway. Pick out federal land. There's federal land everywhere. A couple of pieces of federal land in every state and start building cities. According to Fox News, there's millions of these people who are coming across every single day. Put them in that place. Have them build new cities. Then your country has better cities.
If you talk to the farmers, they can't afford legal workers, they need the illegals. Don't ignore this.
Yeah, you're making a good point. The companies that are hiring the seasonal workers are paying them much less than they would anybody else. So they're responsible as well. But the Dems
this
love...
is all economic based.
Yeah, it's economics based, yeah. The Dems are capitalists, so they are interested in that economics. They're capitalists. You can... Fox News calls them screaming socialists, but they're not. I'm so much further left than Biden is. It's ridiculous that we're in the same party. And if they were here building those cities, they would be earning their way to being a citizen, making our country better.
I would love for all the immigrants to be English-speaking, educated, hot blondes between and 57, about 120 pounds, but that's not reality.
That would cause different problems, but I have solutions for those problems too. We have to deal with the people we have, you know. Deal with the issues as they pop up. When that problem comes up, Katana Raja, I will let you know. There's entirely too many hot ladies at the border.
Give us you're tired, you're sick, you're super freaking hot.
Your huddled asses. Yeah. Yearning to breathe shirtless. I don't know.
Dem huddled asses.
I think Cottonmouth just hopped in, gave us his hot take, and hopped out. That's okay too. Thanks for playing.
I agreed with him on many things.
And yeah, if there's a good system in place, then I wouldn't be upset with the system we have. He thinks that there is a good system. It's just people are cheating on that system. I would assume that's the impression that I get from most
My
conservative
family
types.
came to this country legally from USSR in 1989.
Well, there you go. See, that's good news, and I'm glad that they got to do that. If America really is the best country in the world, as most conservatives will tell you that it is, then people are going to want to be here. I mean, if they're telling me that it's the greatest and freest and most perfect place in the world, obviously people are going to come here. What are you going to do with them when they get here? Make them sit outside? Well, that's not going to work. Need a better system. Need a better plan. But when I talk to conservatives generally,
Some North Euro countries may be objectively better for an average citizen.
I could agree with that. Yeah, the socialist
Close the
ones.
border, build the wall, arrest all trespassers, put them in an unpleasant jail tent encampment, shitty food, crappy work, etc. Make them not want to come here.
Why?
Still, USA is very good overall.
Why, Cottonmouth? What did they do to you? Why do you dislike them so much? Close the border? No, Mexico is our #1 trading partner. We trade with them constantly. It would be detrimental to your economy.
NF, who is gonna pick her vegetables and feed the cows?
Who's going to feed the cows? Who's going to pick the vegetables? If you've eaten a salad in the state of Texas, you have supported illegal immigration. That's all there is to it. Put them in unpleasant jail? Why? They're yearning to breathe free. They're coming here to make their lives better. That, I think, is heroic. If I couldn't get a job in my town, but I worked really hard to go to a different place and commuted for a long time to get a better life for my family, that would be heroic, and we'd all be on board
because
for it.
His family were them generations ago, but they got theirs and no one else should.
I do.
If we do this, we will destroy our own economy.
And I do think that's part of it. I Got Mine is a definite feeling I get from conservative types. And then you just want them to live in a tent encampment, shitty food, crappy work, make them want to not come here. But it's the greatest country in the world, Cottonmouth, isn't it? We're the best country in the world. If we're the best in the world, everybody's going to want to come here. If we have the best constitution and the best economy, and we're the envy of the world, and we're the source of most culture, I mean, honestly, why would you not want to be here? When I speak to conservatives, generally, what they tell me is they don't deserve to be here. I know it's a word I've had issues with Thomas using in the past, is deserve. I think deserve is a worthless word that has no value. Who deserves anything? Can you measure deserve?
At Gitanaranha, not the fucking illegal aliens LMFAO.
Well, then no one will. Cottonmouth, if they don't do it, no one will. and then it won't get done. And then the companies will sneak in other people to do the thing that
At
they want.
Gitanaranha bullshit. At Cottonmouth NF, well, legal workers cost twice as much. At Gitanaranha, yay.
Right, yeah, the legal workers cost twice as much. I would fix that by also holding the companies responsible and then pushing for unionization, but I have a feeling you're not going to like that either. Seize the means of production. I want the people to own that.
At Cottonmouth NF, you want chicken to be 10 a pound. Why eat chicken when people are so readily available?
Good point, KVP. We should just be eating the immigrants. Grinding them up, grinding up their bones to make bread.
Good point indeed, let's just farm the illegals for meat.
A very practical suggestion that we've come to here. We did it, boys. We we created the solution. We got it. Take the rest of the day off. You nailed it. Well, that's ominous looking, isn't it? Big red swirly hole in the ground. What was I talking about? Deserve. Yeah, I hate that word, deserve. It is such a worthless word. It accomplishes nothing. You can argue all day long on who deserves what, but it's never a fact. It's always a feeling. I feel like this person doesn't deserve a thing, or I feel like this person does deserve a thing. It's of no value. There's no factual basis for deserving. At best, two or three people could agree on who deserves what.
I deserve desert.
You deserve dessert. I agree that you deserve some dessert, but only because I don't think that the word deserve means all that much.
Ice cream.
You deserve ice cream? I mean, it's a worthless sentence. If you want ice cream, that's cool. If you have some ice cream, I'm okay with that too. How could we prove that you do, in fact, deserve ice cream? How could we prove that you don't? Is it falsifiable? You know? Doesn't seem like it. And if it's just vibes based and feelings, then I can control it. I can say
if I
anybody.
have means of payment and desire to have I deserve.
You have payment and desire. I'm okay with those. I'm okay with you having the ability to pay for, and I deserve? That's almost a moral question, isn't it? Yeah, deserve seems like a morality question to me, not a economic question, not a physical, situational question. It seems like a morality question to me.
I am the one deciding what I deserve, so yes.
Yeah, there you go. Then why even bother with deserve? It's a worthless word. if you're the only one that decides, I mean, who cares? And it gets used by, I'm going to suggest, people like Cottonmouth. I'm suggesting that you wouldn't appreciate the, you wouldn't like it if I said they deserve a home, they deserve a this, and they deserve Medicare benefits or something like that. Often on the conservative side, the people tell me what they don't deserve. The lazy people do not deserve Medicare. The people who aren't working do not deserve uh, free healthcare. I'm not working for the people who are going to lay around, and they are not deserving of the stuff
Are
from the
you
government.
sure they even deserve air?
Are you just sure they deserve air? And I think a lot of, yes, a lot of right wing politics are based on deserve, and I just don't think it has all that much value because you can't prove it. You can't prove that you do deserve or don't deserve a thing. It's just vibes based. And if it's vibes based, then anybody deserves anything that they want. Are we going to give it to them? Maybe, probably not. Are they going to get it? Probably not. Uh, if you just have, I don't think that you should build policy or even your morality on things that are deserved or aren't deserved. Am I being a crazy person here? I think I am being a crazy person. But again, I use words incorrectly. I use words in a crazy way.
We have a seasonal worker shortage. Closing eyes to this is not smart.
I agree. I don't want those seasonal workers to not be here and drive up the prices of the food and the vegetables and stuff like that. That's not a good call.
Means we can't use draconian methods and just shoot people.
Right. If the border were more open, those people could come here, do the work, then they could leave. The reason, Cottonmouth, listen, the reason they want to stay is because they can't come back and forth. If they could go move back and forth, then they wouldn't stay here. They'd be less likely to stay here anyway. The constraint that we put on them, probably around and I think if I remember correctly, they're like the 70s, of letting the seasonal workers not go back and forth across that border, made them come here and stay here. Had we not locked it down, they could have moved back and forth freely. And I like freedom. It's kind of my thing.
Someone has to pick them avocados from the tree.
Absolutely correct. Ooh, increased lightning damage, electrocute damage.
Europe has it kinda hard, maybe because they are getting Syrian refugees.
Yeah, that would make sense. From YouTube chat,
We
Sewell
get the
says,
same PPL from Latin America.
to deserve is a social construct. It's vibes and feelings, which is why we create laws and elevate justices. Yeah, I agree, Sewell. You're right. Oh, you made it? Well, don't forget to shut the door on your way in. Welding and firing. Wielding and firing a firearm does something not inherently make you brave or less of a coward. Many cowards has shadow person. Yeah. So yeah, I think you're right. Deserve is a vibes-based feelings thing, and that makes me think that it can't be objective. It is subjective always. We get the same people from Latin America. Oh, okay, yeah. There's reasons for them to be coming. There's a reason for the Ukrainians to be, or Syrian refugees. Yeah, that also has a reason that we can comprehend and possibly try to fix. You know, there's a reason those Syrian refugees are coming. There's a reason the people from South America are coming to America. There's a reason people are going to Poland from Ukraine. Obvious reasons for these things. Are we going to do anything about it, or are we just going to do nothing and close the doors, not let anybody in? Sounds like a bad plan to me.
Deserve implies merit, I think.
Well,
English is
it could.
AHRD.
English is hard. Yeah, you're right. Deserve is, I just don't like the word. I try not to ever use it because I don't think it has much other than I feel like this is, I feel this way. And that's the way I feel. And I talk about feelings all the time. It's important to have feelings, but it's also important to recognize that it is a feeling. Most of the time, when a right-wing Republican type talks about deserve, it's because they don't feel somebody else deserves something that they either didn't get or don't get or had to pay for. It's always a feelings-based kind of thing, and I don't think that has much value in the way of policy making. When you're crafting policy, deserve is not something you need to be thinking about.
Entitlement leads to deserve.
Yeah, I could definitely see the two of them being tied together. Yes, absolutely correct. Uh, the idea that you deserve something is an entitlement. Yes, which the Republicans hate. The right-wing people cry all the time about the entitled, uh, uh, and that's so. Yeah, they're using the same word. Yeah, you're right. Good point. Those entitled millennials think they deserve free healthcare. That is a sentence I've heard people say before.
See you around. I'll keep your stash safe.
Deserve can be also used as sarcasm.
You would sarcastically say what you deserve. You deserve an ass kicking. I deserve. Oh, yeah, I suppose. Hi, Bo's
Indeed.
here. Hi, Bo. Come here. Oh, another Bobo break. We got 3 Bobo breaks today on
It's
today's
just a
stream.
work, bro.
Yeah,
Word.
yeah. And it's one that I try to avoid. Yeah, because I don't think that it leads to good thought processes at the end. I don't think anybody uh, wandering around in the morality is benefited by thinking too much on who deserves what.
Earned is better.
Earned is a better word. Yeah, I agree.
More direct.
Since navigating life in this nation was difficult for me, it has to be difficult for you too. Yeah, and that is a thing that you do get from the
You
Republican
earned
Fox
that ass
News tyrants.
kicking.
You earned that ass
Yeah.
kicking. Yeah, I'm on board. I like that better. You earned that ass kicking. The things you said, the you called the guy a couple of names, and then he hit you. Okay, great. You earned that. And it could be a positive or a negative. You earned, and then the Republicans would say that, well, the millennials didn't earn health care. Well, they did because they're paying for it in taxes. The uh, millennials didn't earn a shit housing system that they were born into. Every single bit of land in the country was bought before I was born. Nothing I can do about that. What can I do about it? I have to jump into the system. I have to play this game that the rules were all set for before I was born. And so I have to try to buy a house within the system. And I have, and I'm lucky enough to do so. Um, but that doesn't mean I don't want it to be easier for the people after me. I do want it to be easier and better and smarter and a better system for the people behind me. And I think that they earned that by, did they earn it? Maybe, maybe not. I think that humans have rights that we ought to respect and be working towards rather than just deciding who's earned what by where they were born. I don't think that's a good plan. Because honestly, I didn't earn being born a United States citizen. That's the way it was for me. Whether I had I didn't have a choice in it. Sewell's in YouTube chat says one of hey, they turned the friggin' frogs gay. Bonnie Satava followed you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You turned a frog gay. Are you happy? You turned a frog gay. This is all your fault. Uh, well done. I hope you're proud. Sewell's YouTube chat says one of Benjamin Franklin's many quotes is something like, "It matters more how something is said than how something is meant." I can agree with that. Yeah, that makes sense. The way we say things is important. It adds nuance and garners attention and respect. Yeah, you're right. So if we're talking about things that yeah, earned
Yeah,
rather than
nice
deserved.
wordsmithing is better for sure.
Yeah, better wordsmithing is better. You're right. Maybe I should. It's highly cromulent of him. See. Let's see. This is for shoulder legs. Yeah, there we go. I have something for belts. Let's see. Yeah, this is boots. Hand, hand, hand. leg, chest, everything. All right, well, we'll just put that in there. This is a very complicated upgrade system this game has. All right, I'm keeping those because they're lightning. And that's my focus. I'm going to put this in here. No, I think I need those. Green gem, gem thingy, blood thingy.
Was lucky to buy my condo in 2011 during real estate crash.
Yeah, and yeah, I had a good enough job to buy this house, and so I'm lucky. And I recognize that, and I would like, hopefully, to make the system better so that the people behind me can also can also get something out of it. And if that means that the price of my house goes down, that's fine. I don't care. I'm going to live here forever. This house isn't a investment device that I need to use to increase my net worth. I want to live in this house for the rest of my damn life. I do. And I think for some reason, that's a crazy statement to make in America these days.
I met the prior owner he got foreclosed on.
Maybe, but I hope not. If they did, that's a shit system.
I met him when first seeing the property.
What did they say why they got foreclosed on? Was it a tax thing? Was it a COVID thing? Because it was definitely during COVID. This was about 3 years ago, so they could have caught COVID. I assume that's what happened. They caught COVID, lost their job, refused the Fauci ouchie. He refused the ouchie.
$550K for it, and it was valued at $300K. This was 2011.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so that's good. That was 2011. Okay, good. Well,
they walked away.
That's terrible. I don't want that to happen to anybody. How do we avoid that? By decommodifying all housing. I would, just for that one story alone, I want to decommodify all housing. I mean, I did already, but
See anything you like? Iron well spent. Got something you need stashed? It's safe with me. Promise.
And now the price is $850K.
right, and that is a lucky thing that happened to you. I'm glad that happened, and it's if the timing had been wrong.
13 years.
Yeah, it took 13 years. Yeah, the timing is wrong, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't be happy about it. You should. That's incredibly good. What I'm saying is that shouldn't be the focus of the American people. We shouldn't be building our entire system up for situations like that. If government housing came out and it lowered the price of that, I mean, here's what I'll say. My plan, if enacted, nobody will ever enact it, but if it were, it would lower the price of your house and mine. And I'm okay with that. That's what has to be done. Because I'm not using it as some sort of investment vehicle. I don't think houses should be investment vehicles at all. And the fact that they are at the moment.
Around here, no new land is getting zones for residential. No way the voters vote against themselves.
I know, and that's why that's the other issue is that they're not going to vote against it because the homeowners are not going to accept my plan.
So price can only go up.
Price can only go up, which to them makes them happier, but it's actually causing the housing crisis. It's causing the people who can't get houses to live on the street. It's causing a lack of available housing for the new kids.
What can be done about this?
Nothing. We have to convince them that this is a bad plan. You have to force socialism on them, and I'm not happy about that. But the market regulations off the top, right off the top of the bat, if things that are possible of happening, market regulations, the Dems come out and say, hey, yeah, you know what, this whole housing thing is because of all this
I am not a
unregulated
bad
capitalism.
person, but I am voting no on all new residential zone.
And that's fine with me.
Sorry.
That's fine. You should do that because that's in your best interest. And what we have to do is convince some part of the government that we need to change up the rules, we need to change up the regulations to allow these things so that it's better for everybody.
Everybody you speak of is not a voting entity. Who is it exactly?
Everybody you speak of is not a voting entity? Well, what do you mean, like when I say better off for everybody? That's what I mean, is that you're better off simply because there are cheaper houses available for the people who come after you. There are fewer homeless people because there are more houses available.
Who is everybody?
Who's everybody? Everybody's everybody. Everybody. Literally. Everybody. Whole country. Beginning to end.
I am not everybody.
You're a part of everybody. You're within the group of people.
It's worse for me.
Well, no, it's not worse for you. Because you get some benefit, and that benefit is that there are fewer homeless people. Your children
all
are...
humans, citizen or not.
All human citizens or not. Yeah, all humans, even if they're not citizens, could benefit from something like this. And then, hopefully, they could be...
I absolutely want my property value to double.
Well...
Please.
Okay.
Gimme.
Well, that is bad for everyone else. I recognize that that's in your best interest. But in doing so, you have to limit the amount of houses, and then there's not enough houses for everyone else. Then the millennials and the Gen Zs can't buy houses. We have a problem, and the market has dicked it up, and the market has convinced you that you have to have that double market value now. You need it to double, and the market has lied to you.
But they don't get to vote in my district, so it's okay, right?
But they don't get to vote in your district? Well, I'm talking large, big government overhaul of regulations, which would be called communist and socialist, and Fox News would scream bloody murder about it. But I'm okay with that.
I was talking about zoning meetings.
Oh, zoning
Those
meetings.
are local.
Yeah. Zoning meetings are local. Yeah, that makes sense. If that zoning meeting, if the government wants to put new housing on federal land, that shouldn't have anything to do with your zoning. I mean, local zoning isn't telling the federal land what to do and what not to do on federal land. I'm talking about increasing housing to be built on federal land. That way you can dodge the zoning issue. If the federal government builds federal houses and gives it to poor people, and that lowers your value, I'm sorry, but it needed to be done.
There's federal land around here.
Well, there might not be anywhere near you. There's federal. I think there's a map you can look up. You can go to Google and say all federal land in the U.S. and it'll show you a chart. But there's some in every state. Some states more than others. There's more of it, I think, in the east and the west. I don't remember. Regardless, I'll look at a map later. But the idea is that you can squeeze a few cities into those, and that would be fine with me. If you told me, I've had a really good time talking to you today. But if you told me, hey, they're going to build this federal housing thing near my house and it's lowering my property value, I'd tell you I'm sorry. That sucks. But they're going to do it anyway, and I'm okay. I'm still on board for it happening. Shit, what time is it? It's 3:54. Or 3:57. Okay. I head home to the homestead. All right, I'm about to call it for the day. Let's get out of here. Let's go to Alt Tab. Let's go to the full face cam and then say goodbye. Gitana Ranja, I appreciate you coming in. Very good chats today. I appreciate it. Everybody who's here in chat, thank you. Got a couple of new followers today, so very nice. I might do another daytime stream next week. Depends on what my schedule is.
GG.
Gitana Ranja is now a follower. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. You turned a frog gay. You turned a frog gay. Hope you're happy. Hope you're proud of yourself. There's now one more gay frog in the world because of you. So thanks for being here. Thanks for playing along. Thanks for doing
Thanks, Waldo.
all those things. KVP, I'll talk to you later. I will, let's see, what is this today? What is today? Today's Thursday, yes. So I'll be back on Saturday morning. I don't know if Thomas will be there. I don't think he will, but I'll have a whole bunch of headlines. We'll do headlines on Saturday morning at 10, and then that'll be it. If you're watching, if you're paying attention, feel free to go to the Discord.
Discord. https discord gg beignet tridix 8.
And from there, you can put links to stories, and we will look at the stories. I'll bring them up on onto the main screen on Saturday and take a look at them. And if you've got something interesting to read, we'll read it and feel it all together. If you want to catch up on old discussions,
YouTube. https www.youtubecom at waldavideos.
you can do that at youtube.com. I have a YouTube page with whopping 149 followers. I think I've gone down a couple, honestly. Subscribers on YouTube. I put up the shorts. I put up the videos. What I do is I take all of these, I compress them down into little bite-sized videos, and then I put them up on there. So if you want to see a specific subject, generally it's just one subject. That is it for me today. I appreciate it. Thanks everybody who was here. And I'm going to go cook a meatloaf for dinner. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. All right. Everybody have a good day. Goodbye.